gone deep into the economy, and now we really have to rise up to the occasion for us to survive in business. I know that most businesses have been hit hard with this COVID-19 pandemic, and now entrepreneurs must have to do some things different. You have to change. You have to do some things differently so that you can be able to survive. Maybe your business was shut down. Maybe you could not be able to pay your rent. Maybe you could not be able to pay your loans, because in business you will find yourself at some point accessing money that is not yours to use. Yeah, when we say a loan, we don't necessarily mean a bank loan. It could be your friend's money, it could be your relative's money, or wherever you've gotten the money from. As long as it is not yours, that is borrowed money. So borrowed money you have to pay back. And because of this pandemic, most people have really struggled and they are not able to pay back their money. Maybe the way businesses are running, like we were talking about digital marketing or being in the digital space. At this point in time, if you were not on the digital space, you're just forced to be there, because most of the businesses right now are run online. And so as an entrepreneur, you have to change. And in the process, because of now the debt which people have accumulated, they are not able even now to adopt to change. And some people are getting into depression. And because of that background, I decided that I will take a few minutes to share on debt management. And we all know that when you're speaking about a debt, it doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have to have come from a bank. Even if you borrowed money from your brother, that is a debt, and you agreed that you are to pay back. And we've seen most people making blunders before borrowing, or during borrowing, or even after borrowing. And I thought we could look at a few of the things where people go wrong, so that in case you've not gotten yourself into a debt, then you know the right procedure to follow when you're going to get into a debt. Or if you already gotten yourself into the hot soup, how do you come out of that hot soup because you're already in? And so most people will define debt management as a way the people who owe others money will want to now reservice or pay back their loans, or accept that they have a loan and then make the situation right. But that one is a definition that actually speaks about now someone who has already borrowed money. But according to my understanding and analysis, you need to start managing your debt before you borrow. Because if you don't think about what you are borrowing, what for, how much, what are the rates, at the end of it all, you will get it wrong. So you have to get it right the first time. Before you go borrow, there are some things that you need to avoid. And because of those blunders that most people do, it puts them into a trap. The financial trap of where you are not able to pay your debt will eat into your life. Your health will be compromised. Yeah, because if you have stress that people are following up on you to pay back their loan, then it means mentally you will be disturbed, even emotionally, even physically, because now if you have a lot of debt, you can't even afford food. You can't afford going to the hospital to be treated. At the end of the day, your health is compromised because you blundered somewhere. Your career will also be compromised. Because number one, you will not be able to perform. Even if you are employed, you are not going to perform to your employer. If you are in business, you're not going to concentrate, because whenever you open your shop, the people you owe money are there asking for their money. They don't give you peace. If it is a microfinance, if it is your friend or anybody, they're giving you pressure to pay back their money. And so you will not be comfortable to open your shop. So your career or your business will be compromised, your health will be compromised, your relationship. Some people end up in bitter endings. In fact, marriages get broken, if it is your friend that you gave money and they are not able to pay, that friendship will end. Will end there because your friend, you gave her money and he or she is not paying you. So at the end of the day, that friendship is compromised. So your relationships will also be tampered with because of lack of debt management and even financial. So you will be all round, you'll be affected in your health, in your career, in your finances, in your relationship. You will not have somewhere to stay on because you blundered somewhere, someplace. You will not even have work fulfillment if you are employed. You just go to work and because you're going there because you know the money I'm earning is going to pay debt. It's not going to help me do something. So you don't even have fulfillment of work. You just go for the sake of it. In the long run, you're not going to perform and you may end up even losing that job. And so tonight, I hope that once we walk out of this room, we'll be able to manage our debts very well. For those who have not gotten themselves into debt, listen to this. There are some blunders that you need to avoid when you're getting into a debt, because like I said, at some point in life, you will have to borrow some money. And so before you borrow, you need to avoid a few items. For example, if you're going to borrow money, just get to know how much you want and what is it for. You know, some people approach a lender and they are like, can you check for me how much I qualify? Really? Do you borrow because of the ability to pay? Are you borrowing, is your borrowing being driven by your ability to pay? So if you are able to qualify for $1 million and the purpose of the money that you want is 20,000, so you'll go for $1 million loan and you only need a 20,000 to sort out your son to go back to school. So let us always avoid that blunder of just getting into the lender without knowing how much you want and what is the purpose of that money. You have to consider the impact of the money that you're going to borrow. So some people make a blunder of not checking on the impact that borrowing will cause in their budget. For example, if you're earning 50,000 Kenya shillings, and your 20,000 from the 50 is for your rent. That has been always your rent. And maybe the other 30 has issues to sort. Then now you're going to get a loan of 10,000. Out of your 50,000 that you usually get, you've never saved 10,000 in any single month. Your money all is sorted to issues, rent, blah, blah, blah. So if you go get an extra 10,000 now as a loan, what impact does it have in your income, in your budget? As you get the salary, the 50,000, do you have 10,000 in that salary to go and pay your loan? You should have considered that, because if you borrow more than your income can sustain, then you will end up in hot soup, because you're going to get your salary, you're going to pay all the operational things that you've always done, and then you're going to borrow someone else to come and pay the 10,000. You borrowed another person to come and clear the other debt. It means you have to borrow again to survive. Meaning you already had a blunder before borrowing. Before borrowing, you never considered the impact that money is going to cause in your budget, because you have to pay it back. You never considered the budget that you have, the purpose of that money that you're taking. Don't go borrowing because maybe you saw Paps with a nice computer and you really admire, you are so inspired, you want that computer, and you run and borrow to come and buy a similar computer or a similar mobile phone. Then in the long run, you get into hot soup. You don't know where Paps got her money to come and buy the nice computer you saw her with. Yes, I'm not saying you don't get inspired. You can be inspired, yes, but don't compete with those who have inspired you. Go step by step, acquire that nice computer when you have enough money. Don't get inspired and then you rush into a loan to come and compete with your colleagues. Those are blunders before borrowing. Blunders during borrowing. Now you have made up your mind you want to borrow money. If you fail to consider, I hope we are together.
Sorry, Rose. Keep going. Ladies, let's keep our mics muted. Yeah, if you need to ask anything, please feel free to ask on the chat. Let's keep our mic muted so that Rose can finish up strongly. Yeah, Rose, keep on.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So during borrowing, now that you've made up your mind you want to borrow money, you need to consider the cost of borrowing. Most people make a blunder of not considering how much am I going to pay as interest? What are the other charges? You need to check around. You don't have to just walk into one store and you get money. Even if you were to buy some other item, you will always do some window shopping before you purchase. So don't just rush into taking a loan or borrowing money without considering their cost. Number two, please consider the repayment period. For example, if you need money and it is at the middle or maybe at the start of the month, and the money should be repaid back in 2 weeks, then it means if you are a salaried person, in the 2 weeks you will not be able to pay because maybe you're waiting for your salary to get in so that you can pay. So you've gotten the money and you're not able to pay because you never considered the period that the money is needed to be repaid. So failure to consider repayment period is also a blunder that most people do, and in the long run, they're not able to pay the money. And another thing is failing to consider the turnaround time. Turnaround time, for example, you may feel alone and maybe they take a whole month to process the money. And now you have the money, or maybe they take a day, you already have the money. Schools are going to be open on 10th, and you already have money as loan now. That is when you will get so many things. That is when you will remember you need to fix your toilet, you need to fix your mother's kitchen, some needs will arise which were never there because you have money. Whenever you have money, even if I give you 100,000 today and you never planned for it, I only need to give you 5 minutes for you to tell me how you want to spend that money. Because you've always needed the money and now it is here. And that is when you will see so many loopholes and you will finish that loan. The purpose intended for that money was school fees. By the time the schools open, you were hoping to have gotten some other money to pay fees. But by the time the schools open, you don't have another source of income, you will rush into another borrowing. At the end of the day, you do what we call multi-borrowing. You have borrowed left, right, center, and so in the long run, you're not able to pay back that money. That is a blunder that most people do during borrowing. They don't consider the turnaround time of the money that they are applying. What time is it going to take that organization for them to process their loan? So it is very good that you consider the turnaround time, that you consider the repayment period, that you also consider the cost of borrowing. If you don't consider those three during the process of borrowing, just know that you're making a blunder and you're not going to be able to pay back. What is going to happen is that you're going to bring yourself into hot soup and you're not going to be able to pay all the money that is expected of you. Now, there are some blunders that people take or do after borrowing. Remember, we started before borrowing, the blunders that you need to avoid. We've looked at the blunders that you need to avoid during and now after borrowing. Some people will divert the money. You've gotten money for a house construction, then you divert that money to pay school fees. So the purpose of the money was school fees initially, or was a house, but now you've done you've paid it as school fees, or you've gotten money to pay school fees and then you've diverted that money into business, And maybe the stock you brought, by the time schools open, you've not even sold the stock. And so the child does not have school fees. You have the stock there. It has not been bought. You don't have money to pay back the loan. Another blunder after borrowing is when you choose not to pay the money that you borrowed. This is interesting. Some people will borrow money. They have the capacity to pay, but they just decide not to pay. As a business person, I want to discourage you from doing such. Any money that you've borrowed, make sure that you pay. Because if you don't pay, you will end up into CRB, yeah? And that will sabotage your way into credit. You may need money in the future. You really need a lot of help, but you will not get because you already gotten yourself into CRB. So as genuine business people, I encourage each and every one of you that once you borrow the money, whatever happens, make sure you pay it. Don't choose not to pay, because if you choose not to pay, you are as good as an unscrupulous business person, and so you may end up your journey just there, your credit journey. It may be very, very difficult for you to access any credit in the future. Those are the blunders that we need to avoid before, during, and after borrowing, and you make sure that you're able to manage your debts very well. But as for those now, let me just speak in 1 or 2 minutes. For those people who have already found themselves into in the blunder and they are not able to pay back their loans, let me speak to them. And I want to encourage you, if you are in this blunder, maybe you blundered before you borrowed the money. You never considered the purpose of that money. You never considered the impact it was going to have in your budget. You never considered that because you badly needed money, you found yourself into the debt, and now you're not able to pay because maybe your income is not able to sustain it. Or maybe you did a blunder during the process of borrowing. You never considered how much are they charging. You never considered the turnaround time, and you got the money early, you spent it before maybe the schools were open, and later on you were not able to access more funding. Or maybe you never considered the period of repayment. Maybe it was a 1 month loan or 3 month loan, and you know very well that your income comes maybe towards the end of the year. If you are a farmer or you're doing business that you usually get money occasionally, then it means you've already gotten yourself into that trap of debt management, and now you want to get out of that debt, and it is eating into your health, it is eating into your career life, it is eating into your status. You're not able even to network. You're not able even to concentrate when people are having financial seminars, anything finance, you just think it is impossible because you already gotten yourself into that false soup. Or maybe you diverted the money. You took money for business, but you drank it all, or you went and paid dowry, or you went and had a vacation, yet the money was to increase the stock in your business, and now you have a problem in paying it back. What I can tell you, it is not over. You can still get yourself out of that soup. The first thing you need to do is to accept that it has happened. Once you've accepted, because most people will not accept that they are not able to pay the loan, they just want to pretend that they have not failed, as in it is not hard for them. But as a good entrepreneur, just accept that it is really difficult time, and I'm not able to raise this money, but I must pay because I borrowed and they gave me the money. So once you've accepted, maybe you could be having a lot of debt. The next thing is to disclose all the debts that you have. You can get a notebook and list all the debts that you have. Who and who do you owe how much? Once you've listed that, then you will be able to be strategic on how you will get out of it. That is what I can say. And finally, you can start approaching your debtors one by one. and then your creditors one by one, and then you let them know that you intend to clear so that they can even restructure your terms, and then you'll be able to pay back. But make sure you pay back your loan. I need to end there. I know we'll have another session where maybe we can further discuss. In case there is any question, I think it could be on the chat. I'll now hand it over to Paps so that he can be able to guide me if there was any question. If not, then we could proceed from there. Thank you so much for listening.
Wow, thank you, Rose. That was phenomenal. Yeah, by the way, Rose usually gives loans, like she has a microfinance of sorts where she is. So she's actually talking from experience on all these financial issues. She's seen all sides, of the coin with business people, and we really appreciate your wisdom, Rose. Yeah, straight from the heart, like she didn't even need a presentation. Yeah, we really appreciate it. I don't know whether we have any question. When I was checking, there was none. Yeah, so probably if there's anyone with any question, please feel free to ask. Yeah, and then we will proceed to the next session. Yeah, and this is an exciting evening. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. I saw there are several gentlemen who are coming in. Yeah, for checking in and for all these sharings that are happening here. Yeah, please keep chatting us. I'd like to know where you are. Use that number that has also been shared there to just let us know you're logging in from where. And yeah, and the other thing we want to know is your biashara. What type of biashara are you in? Yeah, so please fill us in on all that info. We are so excited to have you here, and we just want to throw the next presentation on the screen. Yeah, so we have a coaching session, and then we shall advise you on the next move we are taking. So here we are. Can you guys see anything on your screen? Is it there? Anybody?
Yeah, there is.
Awesome, sawa. Yeah, wow, thanks, Rose. That was awesome. Nimesoma kitu na sio kidogo. Thanks again. Wow, thank you, Miriam. You are such an appreciator, and we're really glad to have you here. Just want to see whether there's anyone else who has responded. Is there any question or anything before I move on? Yeah, so please feel free to ask your question at any point. We'll just throw it to the relevant person even as I run through this next presentation. Yeah, so yesterday we had a time looking at legacy and how we build our legacy and what our legacy looks like. And so we discussed three things. Number one factor for legacy is asking yourself those 4 questions that I shared. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? Do I really matter? And I said those are the questions we should have answered when we were teenagers. But probably we didn't have someone to guide us to answer those questions satisfactorily to ourselves and for ourselves first before we answer them for anyone else. And then number 2, I talked about making a difference. I don't know whether you guys went and checked in on the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. Yeah, that is what we were also discussing, that everybody needs to know the problems in the world because you'll be paid for solving them. Yeah, Mheshimiwa, so good to see you. Karibu sana. Yeah, you are up next after I'm done. Yeah, and we are so excited to have you and answer that difficult question that you asked yesterday about our waking up figures. Yeah, so we are really looking forward. Yeah, and then number 3, so those were the 2 things. And then number 3, we talked about shape. You need to understand yourself. Your business, your everything does not rely on your CV. It relies on all the amazing things that are already within you. Your CV should only be giving more details about what you are all about. And so the shape factor is actually looking at 5 things that you need to consider as you think about your abilities, as you think about your many internal resources that you have. Like you are rich in here. So whatever you're doing out here is a manifestation of your internal wealth. Yeah, so I want to run quickly through these 5 things, and I want to start here. Which way in life? I don't know. Of course, this is Kiambu County meeting, so we are allowed to bring Wakaguku to our meeting, and I really love this meme that has been going around. Wachana na Google map. Hii mdudu ilikuwa inajua direction ya Nairobi bila kuwekwa bundles, Yeah, and when we were small, including myself, I know including Mheshimiwa and including all the other guys probably from the Kikuyu land, we used to hold these insects and we'd ask it where Nairobi is. Nairobi is the only destination we wanted to come. That was our dream life. And so you'll ask it where Nairobi is, and then it will turn its head and bend it towards Nairobi. And we trust us, this thing used to know direction. And so even as we're thinking about which way in life, somewhere Yeah, Samuel, please mute yourself. Thank you. I don't know whether you wanted to comment on Wakaguku, but you can share on the chat. Yeah, let's just share on the chat so that we don't interrupt the meeting in case you want to comment or laugh or do anything. And so this insect was probably the GPRS of that time. And even before Google Map and before the GPRS and everything, there was also this compass, and it's still relevant because in places where probably they've not been mapped in terms of locations and, like deep forests, like deep seas, this thing still applies, the compass. And it's important for us to discuss, to realize that you need to understand what your compass is in life, because we don't choose the forest we'll ever get lost in life. We don't choose the probably the seas that we will find ourselves in, but we always have a choice in terms of choosing the direction. And I believe us discovering our purpose in life and discovering what we are good at and all the other amazing things, it's like having a compass. No matter where you'll find yourself, no matter what decisions you'll need to ever make, whether it's on your career, whether it's on your life, whether it's on probably even family decisions, because all those things are informed, especially for us who are young and single. Like, you will be using the purpose or the compass purpose to decide which way I want to go in my life, who do I want to commit to, who do I want to associate with, what ventures do I want to invest in, so that they are defining who I am. And so I'm going to go very quickly. This is the image I'm describing. So assuming we are sitting on this boat together, and we're just facing this beautiful lake, on this side there are mountains. You can get lost on mountains of life. You can get lost on forests of life on the other side. And as long as you have your compass, you'll always be safe. And I believe discovering what we are good at and discovering our internal resources is actually having that compass in place. Like today, recently I made a decision to take up a job. I'd actually said I'll never be employed in my life. I was happy with what I was doing. I was happy doing coaching. But this opportunity that was presented to me was actually defining the things I'm passionate about. I mentioned it yesterday. Human resource, working with people and just helping them become their best. Social justice, doing initiatives that are impacting community and just helping that unfortunate person, that person who is in needy situations, rise up, and just take charge of their lives. And we empower them to do businesses. We empower them to, to just add value to their lives, So right now we actually have a deaf project community. We are taking deaf people to be trained as baristas. Actually, today was their last day in class, So despite not hearing, like the trainers were commenting, they have very good sense of smell and taste, as much as they don't have the hearing part. And it is so amazing to just imagine that, wow, these guys will be baristas. They'll have dignity in their lives. As much as they are deaf, it doesn't hinder their lives. Like, those are things that just give me a kick. And I'm so excited for God giving me this opportunity, to just be able to journey alongside them, doing the profiling, taking them through a gift assessment to know who is good in the service business. So these are things that I'm passionate about. And this opportunity of employment gives me that kick. And of course, it's in a church, which also gives me an opportunity to express all the other parts of myself. And so when you think about having this compass, it's just knowing my sweet spots, knowing the things I'm amazing at, and then looking for opportunities out here to explore them, to, to just run after them and to become that. And so it doesn't matter where I'll ever get lost in life, whether it will be relationships that are not working, a business that failed, a career that is not fulfilling, I will always be realizing that I'm lost and I need to come back. And I've been in those places. I've actually resigned from opportunities that were not bringing out the best in me. I have done businesses and some of them didn't work, but there were things I'm passionate about and I didn't feel like I really failed. I actually felt like I still discovered more things about myself and kept on navigating through the different forests, the different waters, the different mountains of my life, just trying to discover myself. And never be ashamed to start discovering yourself. Never be ashamed to need to reroute, whether you will need to start over again, go back to the crossroads and just choose a better route for yourself, because life is too short to keep on going in the wrong direction. So always trust your compass. Trust your compass. And then the other thing, as we look around, shaped for my assignment, I want to run us through the 5 things, and then I shall allow Mweshimiwa to come up next. We are so excited to have her here. Yeah, and I want you to just imagine that you're one of these emojis. If you are a shape, which color shape would you be? Which one do you think you will be here? If you are shape, Kama shape is a person, which one do you think you will be? Consider the way they have cute eyes. Some look suspicious, some look curious. Which one do you think you will be? I hope you guys are sharing on the chat. We need to have a conversation. Yeah, let me see whether there is any response. Oh, you'll be the blue one. Rose, which one? Which one? Which blue? There are almost 3 blues or 4 blues. Oh, okay, watu wakaguku naona mlikuwa mmefika hapa. Si wakakuku, ni wakaguku. Yeah, Mheshimiwa will come and explain more about wakaguku. Maybe she will give us some more wisdom on the wakaguku before GPRS. So all these shapes, one of the fundamentals of life is that everyone is shaped according to their purpose. The things you are created to do, the things you came to do on earth, they're actually wired in you, and you're able to see them through your different expressions. And I always love asking people, why do you think the door is rectangle? Why are all doors rectangle? I mean, even if it's in somewhere like Arab world, there are 2 rectangle doors, even if they are a square. Of course, I know there are round doors and all those other fancy shapes, but the international standard of doors all over the world is rectangle. Yeah, that one is a gift loading. Who wants to guess on the chat? Why do you think a door is rectangle? I can see people here choosing their shape. Luminous green, that is Valerie and everyone else. I'm looking for someone to answer that question. Why do you think doors are rectangle? 1, I'm going to go up to 3 and then just move on. Anyone who wants to be added in the gift list? Yeah, this is Florence. Florence said that is what is functional. That is close, but Florence, you're really playing politics on me because the functional is neither here nor there. That is very, very philosophical. This is what is functional. Can allow any kind of shape to pass through. Wow, that is spot on, Rose. Who has said that? It accommodates everyone. Okay, seems like we have several right answers and they are correct. Whoever said it's because they are shaped for their purpose, they can allow things to pass through, they're functional, and it's true. Why? Because the door is shaped according to the human being. Just look at yourself. Do you realize you are a rectangle of sorts? Maybe not perfect because you've been carved and everything, but we are all rectangles, when all is said and done. We're just shorter rectangles and taller rectangles, but everyone is a rectangle, like it's shaped for its purpose, so that everything that a human being owns can actually go through the door. Can you imagine everything you owned came through your door? Even if it was dismantled and then it went and got fixed inside. Your bed is shaped according to your shape. Your seats probably are rectangles. So there's all that dynamic of everything is shaped for its purpose. And the door universally, because it's all about human beings, then it is shaped according to a human being's access and convenience. And it's the same way. So it's important for you to discover these 5 things about yourself, to just look at how you're shaped. So I'm going to start with S, and S is spiritual gifts. Yeah, and these are 7 gifts that everyone has, regardless of your profession, regardless of what you do. And these are amazing things. They are default settings for everyone. And this is based on Romans 12, verse 6 to 8. It actually says that everybody has been given gifts according to their assignment, so that whoever is an encourager, like my strongest gift is encouragement. It's actually called exhortation. I encourage people, rebuke them, challenge them, just encourage everyone to be their best. Like I really feel like I'm thriving when everyone is doing their best and being their best. And so encourager is number 1. Number 2 is giver. They're just people who are generous. They like giving. They like giving themselves. They like giving resources. They just love empowering other people. Not that they have excess, surplus, and too much. It's because they just want to share. And then, of course, servants. There are people who just love serving. They're in service industry, service businesses. They're just thinking about how can I make others become greater than me, whether it's in wedding or probably decor or anything that is service. And then number 4, there are people who are leaders. They're just good leaders. They love calling shots. And you're able to zushe wanatubeba wana, and you're the only one who is being carried wana. But because you're a good leader, you know how to mobilize people to come along. And then mercy, there are people who are into mercy gifting. They just feel so much compassion for people who are suffering, struggling, and they go into mercy businesses. They are nurses, they work in humanitarian world because they just want to solve and alleviate human suffering. And then number 6, prophet, they're just people who are able to predict trends. They can just see pattern of things, and it's such a special gift. And there are so many people that I've met who are prophetic. They're able to know even which directions people should go, or probably, it's not necessarily the people who are narotera, like the people who will go around and make circles and a bit dramatic. Sometimes prophets are in the boardrooms. They're able to predict trends. They're able to have this hunch of, we should not go that direction. I think this is a bad investment. And prophetic operates that way as well. Just like Joseph was able to interpret dreams and tell people how to solve human problems. That is what I'm talking about. And actually, Joseph manifested all this. You need to come to Woman Arise to understand the vibe and probably get your gift assessment done to just know your strongest gift. And of course, there's teacher, people who love giving instructions. They love teaching people. Whenever they learn something new, they're excited to stand on the rooftops and broadcast to the whole world. And so these are spiritual gifts. And it's important for you to understand which are your strongest giftings among these. And how can you monetize your gifts? Why? Because everyone has this. We usually call them motivational gifts because you don't have to have any special skill to have them. Like everyone was wired with them, regardless of your faith, regardless of your beliefs. Like everybody is good in either of these and several of them. Like we usually encourage people to write on the top 4 giftings. You know, what are your top 4? You need to write on them. You need to leverage on them. Yeah, so my number 1 is encourager, number 2, prophet, number 3, teacher, and then number 4, leader. So right now I'm working harder on the leader part, because probably that is the gift that I was not really shining in, because yesterday I told you I used to be told I'm kiherehere, so I just toned down my kiherehere, and I was not willing to take leadership positions. But right now I really thank God. He's bringing me into that space confidently. So number 2 is your heart's desire. So I'm looking at shape. So we've squared H, we've squared S, we're going to H. Heart desires, all the things that disturb you when you're sleeping, the things that annoy you about our nation, about the world, those are actually your heart desires. And if you look closer, those are things that you can solve, you can do and get paid. And heart desires are usually things that we are really, really, really feeling strongly about. Sometimes it is a cause, and it can even end up being a career or a business choice because you want to solve a certain problem in the world. And your heart's desires are very, very, very important to consider. That is why we should encourage people to do vision board. You know, just know what are the things that you are really, really passionate about in terms of things you'll want to see yourself solving. What problems will you want to solve in the world? If today you had superpowers, what problems will you want to solve? You know, what things will you fix in the world, in the nation? Which group or people will you want to help the most? You know, like I told you yesterday, I work with women, I work with preteens, I work with teens, I work with parents. Those are the people I will want to help the most. So probably I may not be passionate about many other things, but I know my heart's desire where it lies. I feel bad when I see a child suffering, a child struggling. I also feel bad when I see women being put down. You know, so you can be able to see your heart's desire and to just know them and desire to, like in terms of your heart's desires, those are things that you can do something about and they can be immensely rewarding. So stop ignoring the things that annoy you. They may actually be clues to amazing things that God wants you to solve. And then number 3 is A, and A are your abilities and talents. And it's important for you to acknowledge all the amazing abilities you have. And abilities are just things that you do well. It's that simple. And then beyond abilities, there are supernatural abilities or extraordinary abilities. They are called talents. You know, so it means that if we can train our abilities, we can end up on the talented end. Yeah, because in psychology, you usually say that you just need to practice something for 10,000 hours. It's actually a quote that was made by someone, but it's actually become a bar, you know, a bar that is set for psychology, for you to become a master coach, for you to become a master psychologist. If there's anything like that, you need to practice 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours of having conversations with people, of helping people solve issues that are happening in their lives. And those are abilities that then you keep on refining. And these are 3 things that you need to consider about your abilities. Number 1, your ability is formed from your attitude, just knowing your why. And that is why it's important for you to discover your purpose and then be committed to it. Those are the things that form your attitude. That is one side of ability, just knowing my why. Why am I alive? And yesterday we explored the 4 questions. So if you're committed to those, and then you probably dig deeper on your purpose, you'll be able to define your attitude. Number 2 is knowledge, knowing what. You need to know what to do. As much as you know why you need to do it, also know what you need to do. And that is purpose and process, because you need to do it today, do it tomorrow, do it the day after tomorrow to see results. Knowledge is coming to that place, you know, of I need to be aware, I need to probably research, I need to understand this business. That is building process and purpose together, you know, because you want to make sure that you really understand it well, you're able to come back from the forest by yourself. And then number 3 is know-how. You need to have the skills, and skills is then practicing over time, and over time after you've researched, you need to go and implement those amazing skills you have. And then the know-how is the processes and the commitment. So you can see commitment, attitude, and skills are not things that are know what, they're actually know-how and know why. So it's important for you to balance out these 3 things as you think about all the abilities you have. You know, do you have knowledge? Do you have skills? Do you have the right attitude? And all these things will give birth to these 3 things. Number 1, purpose. Number 2, processes. And number 3, commitment. So that you keep on doing it. You find purpose in the process. And then in the process, you're also discovering how best to do it in a way you can document it and even mentor other people. You remember yesterday we were discussing the factorial impact, so that I'm able to help other people and to train them to also do the things that I'm doing. Very important. And of course, personality. I don't know which color do you think you will be, just depending on how you do life. Yeah, my friend Wanjiroke Husa runs Mama, and she loves making fun of me that I have to have color on myself. Yeah, like when I was splitting my hair, even now I love coloring my hair, you know, and she knew that I would love to, if I'm braiding my hair, I would love to have colored braids. You know, probably I'm right in the middle here. And by there, I really love colorful life, you know, like just color. So you can share which color are you, which crayon would you be? So for me, I'm red, purple, blue there, and maybe go to yellow, pass by the luminous green. Yeah, so we just know our colors. There are people who don't like being loud and out there. Probably they're on the gray, the black, the brown, and it is fine. Everybody has been wired according to their purpose. And it's important for you to discover that your personality is a very strong asset in accomplishing what God has called you to do. Whether you are quiet or loud, that is who you are. And embracing yourself then makes you a powerful asset. Your personality stops becoming something to be ashamed of, and it becomes something you need to express, you need to put out here. If you are strong-willed, please go full force. And if you're laid back, please chill out. Just make sure that you are your best personality. And one of the things I usually say is that just make sure your personality is not dysfunctional. You're not adapting to anything. You've dealt with everything that's ever happened to you, like personally being pushed down and made to be a quiet child, despite being a child that was very talkative when I was growing up. Just learn to find back your natural and your neutral and come back to it. And then finally, your experiences in life. It's important for you to make sense of everything that happens to you. You know, because the Bible says all things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Everybody must learn to make sense of their experiences, you know, because everything should work for your good in the long run. And it's very important for you to see that good as the lemonade you need to make. And like I said yesterday, to even teach others to make lemonade. And I'm so happy that I'm spending my life this way, mentoring people, coaching them, because one day I was that person who was down there, oppressed. Things were not working in my life. I was suicidal. I was hopeless. And I've had so many detours in my journey, including ending up in the wrong career and everything. And that is why I'm very passionate to just help people bring out their best. And so look at the experiences in your life, all the bad things that have happened, all the amazing things, because also you need to use the amazing things. Everything that has happened in your life, there's nothing that is a mistake. You need to use them in your business, use them in your career, use them in your vocation, everything that you have in your life, all the dimensions. Make sure you're just bringing your best foot forward and using it to, you know, just express yourself and express your shape. And so how do you strengthen your shape as I finish up? Number one, practice. Just keep on doing it today, tomorrow, and the day after. You know, practice makes perfect. Just be careful what you're practicing. Make sure that you're putting a lot of time into what you want to grow in. You know, I usually say that nowadays the best learning method for you to become an expert in something is saturation learning. Just expose yourself to as much information as you can. Go and watch all the TEDx talks on the area you want to grow in. You know, practice. Go and research. Follow businesses coach that you like. That is part of mentors. You can have active mentors, passive mentors. Just have people who speak into your life, people who inspire you, people who are where you want to be. And of course, research. You know, just research is part of the practice. As you practice, you are also researching. You know, just gathering as much information as you can so that you have knowledge, and then the knowledge becomes skill, and then skill become attitude. You know, you just come to this place of being unstoppable. Number 4, learn to receive feedback. You know, always ask people for feedback, especially people who are closest to you are the ones who can tell you the most hurtful truths. And it's very important for you to get continuous feedback in your life. Just ask people how you're doing. Ask them what they think you're good at. There are people who are observing you and they know you sometimes more than you minimize yourself. Some of us are amazing. We are great. You are phenomenal. But the problem is that you minimize yourself. You're struggling with poor self-image. Sometimes you're struggling with poor self-esteem. Sometimes you're not confident. Sometimes you're struggling. We don't have enough information. Just get feedback. Feedback is very helpful. Mentors are very helpful to pull you up. And we are so glad we have one mentor here. Yeah, Hon Wamuchomba, and she's going to take us through the next session. And so up next, I'm going to come back and share that after she's done so that we sign off together. So Mheshimiwa, are you here? Yeah, of course I've seen you, and yeah, she's here and ready to take us through. So we want to go through the next session and learn about the, what was it again? Now I've forgotten. I've even forgotten the question, leave alone the answer. Oh, you're waking up figure. You're waking up figure, yes. So thank you so much for joining us again. So privileged and honored to have you. Yeah, so please feel free to go on and just share what's in your heart. Yeah, we are all here and all ears.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you can all hear me. Today I am a little bit tired. I've been in the field the whole day. Nimechomeka, najua mpaka nasikia ni kama nimezidiwa kidogo, lakini mtanisamehe. Good evening, everybody. It was a fantastic presentation from my sisters, Paps, and the rest that I found. I found a lady called Rose talking about money matters.
Yes.
And she really touched me because, you know, money matters with business are inseparable. Yes, I know everybody's looking forward to this waking up figure issue and many others. Today, I'm going to just focus on, you know, business. Because like I said yesterday, if you do your business well, if that's your chosen career, then it's very easy to transit to the next desired area. You may be desiring to become a preacher. A broke preacher is not a good preacher, so you need to have some finances. Or you want to become a politician like myself, a broke politician does not survive. So you need to have the base. So the base together. I'm excited that the Kiambu chapter, the Women in Business Kiambu chapter, is quite vigorous, active, revamped, and this is the way to go. I mean, you have the energy and I'm liking it. You are the kind of people I should be having teas and coffees with because I think there's a lot to share. You know, in my leadership in Kewopa, I tell women leaders that sisterhood is powerful. And I also want to say it here that sisterhood is really powerful. And therefore, if you're able to continue sharing and, you know, giving each other shoulders to lean on, there's much that can be done together. Now, I want to start off with a story. Like I mentioned last time, my background is media, though I did not train to be a media personality. I did my first degree, I was a teacher. I was supposed to be a teacher. And I didn't find myself in class because, of course, my personality was a little bit more bubbling, and therefore I landed into media. And I think that's where God wanted me to be. I always say if I became a teacher, probably I would have not even lasted. I would have been fired for either inciting students or or misleading students. Because I was just, I'm bubbling. I was very bubbling. So I needed a place where I could release my energies and say what is in my heart and express myself. And I thank God I got the avenue that was the media. And so when you become a media celebrity, there's a lot on offer. And one time I was traveling and I got my is it a desk mate in a plane? They are called what? My seatmates. As usual, I said, hi, my name is Gathoni. Where do you come from? I'm from UK, which area? And I said, oh, my name is, you know, all the stories you do. Me, you know, I always say, be aware of your environment, be aware of your surrounding. Just get to know who is next to you and try and get the best out of that person who is next to you. You never know. So we had that chat of, oh, I'm feeling sleepy, but before I sleep, what do you do in Nairobi? What had you come to do? And this guy tells me, I had come to Nairobi to look for a business opportunity, but I didn't get. I got it. How did you get frustrated? He said, you know, I was looking for this license. I didn't succeed, and they cooled my money, and and my contact person played games, and I felt so much for this guy and said, this is my number. Once you settle in UK, call me up. I'll be back through the same, you know, through UK. So I said, when I come back to UK, I'll try and call you so that we can have tea in UK and you will tell me what your problem is. And the bubbling me did the same. And I call up this guy. He was an old muse. And he came with his family and we had some coffee. Do the licensing, I'll give you the office, I'll do everything. And then you'll consider me as one of your consultants. I don't want to be employed because already I am employed somewhere else. I'm doing something else. So just give me consultancy. And I struck the deal, a very big deal. good deal. I came back to Nairobi saying, ooh, I got it. And using the same bubbling personality, the same me, then never shamed me. I went into this office, done, finished. After 2 years, the business was up and running. I was a consultant, but behind the scenes, and the business started off, went on. So the profits were good. And my UK friend asked me, Gathoni, I would want you to tell me, for me to buy you off from this business completely, what is your waking up figure? I was like, duh, what have you asked? And he told me, if you came for the board meeting, listen to how many drivers we've employed, what is our business expenditures, and what are the tax. You dozed off along the way. This money we are paying dividends, this money we are doing this employees we are paying this. You doze off. So when you wake up, what figure would you want to hear? That is what is called waking up figure. So I sat and said, okay, my consultancy has been this per month. I did this, I invested this, I did my math, and I said my waking up figure should be not less than 1.4 million per month. He did that in pounds and said, oh, 1.4 million per month. Yes. With or without 1.9. And he said, deal, sign here. So I signed. And so after I signed, I got my waking up figure. So every time I went for the board meetings, because I was a silent director, because he bought me off, I dozed off. I'm not bothered. How many people are you employing? It's your business. How many people are you firing? It's your business. Are you paying taxes? It's your business. I'm just waiting for that dividend waking up figure. Mine, I know.
Mheshimiwa, we are losing you. We are losing you on and off.
Cheers.
I think it's the
So
network.
hard in those that you are. Sorry, I think it's the network.
No worries. Keep
Can
going.
you hear me now, all of you?
Yes. Yes, we can. Was it just on my end?
Okay.
Because I'm
Okay.
seeing
So yesterday I said,
the others are moving here.
are the others having problems and challenges?
Am I the or maybe it's my network?
Are the others having challenges?
No, even me.
Okay.
Even me. Yeah.
All right. Keep going. We are enjoying the conversation.
Oh dear. So did you hear my did you follow my story about my waking up figure?
Of course we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Or should
Just-
I
No,
do
I
it
didn't.
again?
I didn't hear them.
Please repeat.
From 1.9.
Oh, from the figure, from the 1.9.
All right.
Yes. The wake up figure, yes.
Okay,
All
okay.
right.
So I said I was asked if you are to be bought off the business, and of course because the law requires that any investor that was doing that business needed a local partner, so I couldn't exit 100%. So I was to remain with the minimum shares. What is the waking up figure? I mean, what is that figure that you must get
Sorry,
so that you
Mheshimiwa.
can
Please mute yourself, ladies. Mute yourselves so that we can have a smooth meeting. Mute yourselves if you haven't.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kindly. So what is that figure that you would comfortably, receive maybe monthly or annually, that will make you, a silent director, inactive director, and you have invested and you're okay, and you would really support the business to continue without your active involvement? Because of course that was not my line of business. That's not what I was interested in quite much. So I said my figure should be 1.4 million net. And of course, without taxes. So if you put taxes, it will be about 1.9. And he said, deal. So we will still retain you as a consultant, because of course you have a reason to pay you. And then of course you'll have some little dividend for your little shares that you remain as a co-director in the business. And the business did very well in Kenya, very well, quite well. And so I got my clean 1.4 million of taxes. And I could go to the board meeting and just sit. And I doze off because I'm not interested in how many people are fired, how many people are employed, how many cars have you bought, what your rents, all those. Those to me, I'm asleep because of course I'm waiting for my waking up figure. My waking up figure is 1.4 plus dividends. After you do your maths, my dividends. Now, yes, I mentioned about this waking up figure, and I said, if you're in business, you must focus and create yourself a target of waking up figure. If anybody walked into the office and said, Paps, you're doing a very good business, and I think I want to buy off this business, and asked you, how much is this that you think you can take as your waking up figure? Don't fumble around. Don't start saying, it should be here. It should be like this. I know what I'm worth. I know what it is that I want. I know what I've invested. I know my energies in this business. I know what I should be getting to reward myself and reward my time and reward my efforts. So ladies, what is your waking up figure? Today, if I had extra money, I would actually shop around and say, I want to buy one of your entities as a shareholder, probably, or I buy you off. What is your waking up figure? Always make sure that your inventory is well done. You know the value of your assets. You know your liabilities. You know your projections for the next 3 years. You have those figures at the tip of your hands so that whenever such opportunities appear, even when you need like to liquidate your shares or you need to, inject more capital into your business, you know what you're doing. I said yesterday, if you don't know your waking up figure of your business, you are like a driver at night driving a limousine without your headlights on. And you're going to knock somebody. You're going to knock a wall. You're going to stumble. So make sure you know your waking up figure so that if you hire a manager, when you're setting your job description and your targets, you know his figure plus another manager's figure and another manager's figure will add up to your waking up figure. When you're giving your company value, you will start off from zero minimum, which is the waking up figure. I also said yesterday that you need to have what we call the GMR, the guaranteed minimum return. What is that you get every month? Irrespective. Have you set it? Do you strive to make sure you achieve? Because if you don't have the guaranteed minimum, your minimum, what you need to survive, the other month you're on credit. Unajikopa we mwenyewe. The other month unajikopa. By then, have you found yourself kujikoparing in your own business for a year? Then you're better off than a house girl is better off than you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone. But she's better because ajikopi at least every month analipwa. Wewe unaamka asubuhi, unajipaka mafuta, unachana nywele, unachukua handbag, you drive sometimes, you go to that business a whole 30 days and that business haikulipi, wewe ndio unailipa. You can do that as for the startups period. You remember what we said yesterday about the clearing the bush and burning up the trumps and preparing to plant and plowing? You can do that for that preparation period. But for how long can you do it? So the guarantee monthly figure, what I call the guarantee monthly return, GMR, is something that you must work towards and make sure that you are achieving it at least for a period of 2 years for you to say, I am a businesswoman and I'm making it. Is your business paying you? When you were employed, for example, for those who are employed, probably your figure was, say, 300,000 a month. And then you quit the business. I mean, you quit your job and you went and started off a business. And then that business is paying you 20K? Nah, Nah, you're not getting it right. And you call yourself a businesswoman? Okay, for the first 3 years, yes, you can feed the business. But after 3 years, I always say if it has no guaranteed minimum returns, go back to your drawing board. Ladies, are we together? Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Well, I've lost
Yes, we
count.
are. We are together.
So we are talking about the waking up figure, which is the totality of your business. What you would expect if you are to liquidate or you are to sell somebody's shares or something. You know, the other day, and I hope that lady, good friend of mine, is here. And I know she's part of the Women in Business in Kiambu. She came to me and told me how a certain guy wanted to buy her business. And she was very excited. Oh, you know, Mheshimiwa, this guy who is also doing very well wants to buy off my business. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, I'm coming over to your office, like a small office somewhere, just to have a chat with you. So I went into her office. I didn't want actually to have a chat with her. I just wanted to go and see her assets. Then I started thinking, now, if this guy is buying off this girl's business, then what should we be looking at? So I looked at her office, her assets, and I didn't even look much on her papers, her books, because I could imagine what kind of, I know the business very well. And I asked her, how much is this guy offering you? He said, she's giving me 8 million for 80% of shares, and then I'll be a minority shareholder. And I looked at her and I told her, okay, so what did you consider for you to accept the 8 million as an offer? Did you give him your inventory? No. Have you done your inventory? No. So I just showed him my chairs, my computers, my desks, my rooms, my door. I said, oh, okay, that's one mistake, because you need to value your business, right to the market value, and then you give your assets some depreciation value so that you can actually get the level of your investment as we speak. So anyway, it was a long story. It's a long story, but at the end of it all, they did not go together because the guy was taking advantage of this lady because she didn't know her waking up figure. She should have said, okay, whatever it is, whatever I have, these are my books. And for me to be comfortable, to sleep in the boardroom and wait for you to tell me my money is here, I need this amount of money. Then you start working backwards. All right. I hope I'm not becoming very theoretical, very, very technical. Now, as you put your figures in place, when I came in, I found Pap speaking, and Pap was saying, your business is you. And I agree with you. When you want something done, do it yourself. Yeah, do it yourself, especially for young businesses. Do it yourself. Once you get the structures and processes in properly, you can now start with the drawing slowly and starting to let other people come in and do it. Like I said yesterday, for me, I ran quite many enterprises, but I don't run them directly. And I'm glad I can see even some of my staff members are online. I don't do that. What I do is that I invest, I put structures in place, I put processes in place, and then I delegate and train people to move to my direction. But on one condition, that I'll monitor you on a daily basis, and if possible, hourly basis, until I get you to do what my vision was. And until I see my figures coming close to what I had marked as my targets for my GMR and for my waking up figures. And that way, then I have less headache, and I'm able to also to think more on how to diversify businesses and how to adjust depending on the market trends. Now, your business, most of the time, because it is your idea, it is your vision, it is your passion, you are the one who knows it best. Some of those businesses are personal centered. Personal, what do I mean? It's only you who has the knob, like some of the businesses I do, sometimes it always requires me to make a call and say, hi, this is Gadhoni, and ebu niambie, ile muziko yangu imefika wapi? If my manager calls and asks about my muziko imefika wapi, hata ambiwa. So there are some businesses that you really have to be there, but that does not mean that you open the office in the morning at 8 and close the office, because you become a slave of your business. And when you become a slave of your business, it gives you a window of frustration when it doesn't turn right. Are we together? Just like you buy a shamba and you plan to plant whatever crop like cabbages, I do believe that women I'm talking to here are not the women who will take the djembe literally and go and plant a cabbage. But you trust somebody to go and take the djembe and plant the cabbage on your behalf, but the shamba is yours. And you're okay. And you tell us here in Nairobi, by the way, I have a kashamba somewhere in Nyandarua and I'm doing cabbages, but you're not the one who is doing cabbages. If you normally trust people to plant cabbages for you, trust people to open the office for you and close the office for you. And they will make the money. By the way, when you give people freedom, you allow them to feel like you feel. Sometimes I even allow them to sit on my seat as the CEO. It makes them feel like they own the business and it makes them more productive. I have learned the art of delegation. Even now as a leader, I can tell you, come to my office. You tell me you want bursary, I will send you to the person in charge of bursary. You want me to help you with somebody's house that was burned, I will send you Mama Care team that will come in and arrest your case. I will not do anything that other people are employed to do. All I do, hi, ulipeleka mattress, iko wapi picha nione pahali mulipeleka. And then I'm like, wow, excellent, good work. Comments like those ones, you know, excellent, super work, good, bravo. They make your people feel like they are part of your vision, they are part of your business, they actually own the business, and they are very productive. And that is how then you find yourself running quite many enterprises and they are profitable and you're good. Power of delegation. Now, the problem with us, especially the women I'm speaking to tonight, I know, because I've been there. You are the accountant, you are the tea girl, you are the sweeper, you are the messenger, you are the CEO, and you are the what? Chairman. you will not do everything. At the beginning, you can do that, but you keep, as you grow, you keep allowing other people to play, you know, significant roles in your business. By the way, you might think that you know it. The business is yours, the vision is yours, the passion is yours, but you can bring in somebody as an employee who can actually jumpstart your business like you've never seen. I have an experience. Somebody who just comes in and says, you know, I think we can do this business this way. I think if you do this and this, give me a chance. Give me 2 months, I will turn around the business. And all of a sudden, wow, things are moving. Now, because I don't want to take much of your time, how do you get those people who can turn around your business? How do you get those people who can inject energy and productivity, positive energy and productivity into your business? Ladies, spread your tentacles into the business arena. What do I mean by spreading tentacles? When I was working as a radio manager, of course, I was working in a Kikuyu radio station. But if I really needed to change one of my presenters, because of course I was the boss, and I felt like this window of these hours is not bringing revenue, it has bad ratings, and I need to improve the ratings so that advertisers can come on board, I used to listen to other Kikuyu radios and get to know what they're doing so that I know who is that in that other radio, who can match up with what I want. So I had to put my tentacles out into the market arena. Don't close your office and pray, oh, Heavenly Father, you know, this business must work. Oh, you will pray, he'll answer. He will even give you instructions on what to do. But if you don't spread out the tentacles, the prayers will fade out. I'm a Christian, yes, but I know action are followed by faith. Or faith follows action. Me, I think actions are followed by faith. You first of all do something believing that you're going to achieve. So ladies, where do you spread your tentacles so that you can get those talents that you can bring into your business? I want to ask you a question. How many of you have ever seen or watched a video or documentary of something called octopus? Octopus are sea animals. Or are they sea animals or reptiles? I don't know whether they're animals. I think they're reptiles. They have many tentacles. They have many hands. Let me call them hands. Are we together, ladies? Those hands are used to hunt. This hand will chase the prey this side, the other hand will chase it this side, this other one will chase it this side. And because the mouth is at the center, the arms will always work together in unison to make sure that the prey is somehow brought into the center and swallowed in as food. The same way as an octopus uses tentacles to hunt for prey, for food. I want you also to spread your business tentacles into the arena of your business. For example, if you're an engineer and you're looking for contracts, for example, you are doing roads, you're doing water pans, dams, please don't waste your time going to eat, going to have dinner with the salonists, Association of Salonists. I'm not saying salonists will not help you, but where do you have the high possibility of meeting people who can offer you a contract to do a road or to do a dam? I mean, it will be dinners of association of contractors, associations of engineers. It will be a dinner of corporates that are investing in infrastructural likes projects. I mean, I don't expect you to be an engineer and you're going for a fashion design dinner. Because a fashion design dinner, you will hardly get somebody coming up with a factory that needs to be constructed at your level. You understand what I'm saying, ladies? So spread your tentacles into the right arena, into the right places, into the right grouping, and create networks. You know, my daughter keeps telling me that, Mommy, you know, you are so messy sometimes because everywhere, my desk in the house, my desk in the offices, I have so many business cards. I have thousands and thousands of business cards. I even tie them with rubber bands just to contain them. No, this whole thing is full of business cards, cards that somebody gave me, somewhere we went for dinner, you know, all these. If really I sat down and analyzed these cards and focus on my area, I would definitely get a business out of all these business cards. What am I trying to say? Ladies, when we open up for, you know, business and back to normalcy, get yourself a habit of having at least a cup of tea once a week with a business prospect. Get yourself a habit of going out to meet people in your arena. And when you go out, don't go and say, me, I do. No, go and say, we. We do, not me, we. Because the business of we is much sellable than a business of I. Now, there is another fish called I think it's a fish called shark. The shark is such a magnanimous animal. It's so huge. It's so agile. It's fierce. People fear sharks. Even me, if you tell me to jump into waters where there are sharks, I'm not there. But it also only has one mouth like this. One. And that one mouth, ikishika kitu, haiwezi achilia. It uses that mouth to hunt and to prey. I believe there are people whose business patterns are shark-like. They don't have tentacles. They don't throw tentacles. They just sit and open that big mouth. And that big mouth will be able to fill up for their businesses. I don't know what is the best style for you. For me, what works for me is tentacles. I will throw my tentacles onto a breakfast meeting and I'll meet a few contacts who I'll follow up later and we continue. When we continue talking and finally I'll get business out of that kind of a tentacle trap. The eye is better when you are.
Sorry, ladies. Yeah, she is. Sorry.
I'm back. Sorry, somebody's trying to call me.
No worries.
The eye works better when you are the shark because it's only you and your mouth, and then everything comes in and you digest. The we is the many tentacles. One of your tentacle can be your husband, can be your daughter, can be your business partner, can be your friend, and learn to accommodate as many tentacles as possible. But make sure that the tentacles are working together in harmony. Like I told you, the octopus. When the octopus want to catch this kifuniko ya kalamu hii, I do believe that the hands, the tentacles, they try to catch, and then if it disappears, this tentacle comes in. If it goes up, this one comes in. If it goes down, this one comes in. And finally, the tentacles work in unison until the prey is put into the right place. Now, for me, I am married and I involve my husband in most of my businesses. So I say he is also part of my many tentacles. My work is to make sure that I coordinate the tentacles so that his prey and my prey can finally meet somewhere and can become a productive business venture. I know that is tricky, and I think perhaps we'll discuss that another day, how to bring many other tentacles into the business, because I know that especially in the Wakikuyus, I know we'll discuss that. But for today, I want you to decide, are you an octopus or are you a shark? And if you have been an octopus, has your style been working? Or you need to change to become a shark? Have you been a shark? Have your style been working? And remember, in business world, I always say, we is magical. I is ambitious. We is magical. I is ambitious. Now, when this gentleman approached me and told me, we can do it in Kenya, we, by the way, it's something that I could have done many years back alone. Whatever he was telling us we can do, many years back, I could have done with my name and my position and my connections. I could have done it like this. But imagine, I had never thought that I can do such a kind of a business. But he told me, we can do it. We. How many times have you thought of an idea and you're like, you siwezi, ati niuze viatu. Eh? And then somebody else comes and tells you, we shall sell those shoes. Unaona the magic. Haya, I think we can do it. Can I tell you another story? I hope you have time, or you need to go and cook dinner like myself today. I'm in the kitchen. When I was at the University of Nairobi Kikuyu campus, I got into first year. Just before I settled, the whole University of Nairobi went on strike. I don't think you remember the very popular strike that was due to the death of a student called Charles Muruli, who was killed. And I couldn't imagine, I've just come from Mushao, and then 3 months down the line, I'm going back to Mushao for 6 months. Never, ever. So I had to look for something to do. And I found myself, the bubbling me, I found myself interacting with some ladies who are doing our hairs in campus. They had like a small corner where they could dry our hairs. And I went there and I said, you know what, guys, what do you think I can do? Me, I don't want to go home to Kifukuzwa. And they're like, you can come, we show you how to clean hair, how to blow dry. And the magical me, I went. And 2 days, 3 days, I started saying, na hizi earbuds za kufunga watu mnatoanga wapi? And then he told me, there's a lady who normally come, and she, do you have her number? You know, those ladies in the salons speak, eh? I never despise them, by the way. They are magical. It is we. They make the quorum we, and they are magical. You know, Igwa pap. Nemura Igwa. Kana de wike ha.
Tunasikia.
So they told me there's a certain lady who normally hawks them. So I said I would want to meet her, and then she tells me where she gets them. Then when the lady came, she said, there's another guy who normally brings them, and then I go and pick them on wholesale, and then I now hawk in the salon. And I said, that guy who normally brings them, I want to meet him because I would want him to introduce me into the business. And she took me round, but finally I got the guy. He was called Juguna, and he's still my friend even today. So I went to Juguna and I said, you know, Juguna, me, I am depressed because if I go home in the village, life is not going to be easy because I've just come to Nairobi, I've settled, campus, tumegoma, sasa tunaenda nyumbani. Can you help me to see how? He asked me, do you have 120,000 shillings? And I was a student. I said, yes. I said, yes, I have. He told me, if you have 120,000, can you get yourself time to go to travel out of Kenya? I said, yes, why not? Diare passport. I didn't even have a passport. I said, yes. And then he told me, go get your passport ready. And if you have a problem with passport, don't lie to me. I have a friend who can help you. So I said, finally, okay, Sina. So he told me, I'll help you get a passport and get yourself 120,000. And I want you to prepare, we'll go with you to a place where I normally get them. But on one condition, whatever profit you will make, you will share your profit with me at 50-50%. I said, hey, 50-50 is too high. We negotiated, it came to 30% of the profit. I'll keep the rest, 70% of the profit, not of the cost. Agreed, deal. So I went, struggled, got the passport. I had some 120,000 shillings, which I will tell you another day where I had got that money, because that's a story you need to hear, but it's not for today. So I got 120,000. And remember, I'm a student, first year, fresher, but I had 120,000 cash. But I'll tell you where I got that money. And I never stole and I never did anything. It's the power of believing in yourself. Believing in yourself. Usiitiwe contract. Mimi naonanga watu nawaita ati wewe, can you do a road? No, but my auntie can do. Dekagia nawe hau. Namaliza na wewe hapo. You came to tell me you need that help. You need to be supported. You're a woman in business. And then I'm asking you, can you do a road? You're telling me my auntie can do. Am I speaking to your auntie? I'm speaking to you. You say, yes, I can do it. Are we together? Anyway, I got my 120,000. This guy booked for me and he booked for himself and his sister a flight to India. Ateko, Bombay. You can imagine from Nairobi to Bombay. I have never traveled out of not Nairobi, Kenya. I have never been on a flight. I don't know how to speak that language of Indians. I don't even know what I'm going to get because these rubber bands, I've just seen them in the salon. And I'm there putting all my baskets together, my eggs together, and I'm traveling to India. And I never told anybody, not even my mother, not even my friends. I told no one. I traveled to India, to Bombay. My journey to Bombay is a story for another day, but it is what made me who I am today. Anyway, got to Bombay, bought earbuds for 2 shillings per piece, 2 shillings, and got sacks and sacks of them. Beautiful earbuds. Mnaona hizi earbuds tunashikanga. Sijui kama mnanielewa zile mnafunga nywele nazo. Today I have a clip. I don't have earbud. I have a clip. But there's those earbuds. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. So I came with those gunias. Luckily, by the time my cargo came, it was flight cargo. So niliweka kwa ndege ikafika, tukaclear, tukaweka kwa store. Luckily, by the time we finished all that, university was recalled. So the salon where I got the contact was a busy corner. Braids to repair their braids. And every time they did that, they wanted a new hairband. So I started selling the earbuds at the salon. Then this lady who was hawking, the one who introduced me to the guy to take me to India called Juguna, came and I told her, now you don't even have to go to Juguna. I have the earbuds. And she started coming, picking 200 pieces, anaenda nauza, korogosho, kawagware, madare, anarudia. Then I told her, now I'm going to make you a manager. Now you're not going to be hawking. You're going to be recruiting the hawkers. That is what I said. We, let other people come into your business. Make them part of the business. Let me tell you, this girl who was only a Form 4 dropout worked magics for me. I never hawked a single earbud. She sold all the earbuds. She even recruited students on my behalf. Students were coming and saying, oh, I can go to Kabete campus, I can sell 1 gunia there. I can go to Kikuyu campus, I can sell 1 gunia there. I can go to Chiromo, I can sell 1 gunia there. So I recruited students to be my hawkers. Hello. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, to cut the story short. I bought my first color television when I was in campus. My room was the only room that had a carpet and a colored television. Ebuni pigieni makofi.
Congratulations.
Yo.
Thank you. What am I trying to say? Believe in yourself. Never despise any idea that comes your way. If you ever told me, a whole university campus student, that I could sell earbuds, I would tell you, oh, what are you telling me? The power of we can go to India, we can go and negotiate, we can bring them here, we can recruit hawkers, and we can make money. Please underline the word we. And every big billionaire in this world will tell you there is a power of we. Every big owners of banks here in Kenya will tell you there is a power of we. Every successful farmer in this country will tell you there is a power of we. The problem with us Kikuyus, we think me, I. What did I say? I resort to what? Do you remember what I said? We is magical. I is ambitious. Yes, you want to become a skyscraper before even you own a 4th floor. You want to become the owner of the IMF building before even you become an owner of a bungalow. We is magical. Now, from me, you can go to we. But don't capitalize so much on me, because me will crumble you. Me will frustrate you. Me will drain you. Me will delay. You know, sometimes you start good ideas of businesses, but because you don't have capital, you give up. But imagine if there's somebody else who has $1 million shillings in the house waiting to looking for somebody to just share your idea so that they can pump the money into your business. But we hold on. Gadoni and Daughters Limited, full stop. You don't want anybody else inside there. Anyway, I hope I'm speaking to somebody. So my journey of we started long ago. I did my rubber hire birds. I did many trips to Bombay. And I told you I will give you a story about Bombay another time. But I found myself even opening a salon on my own. That time I was still a student, by the way. I'm still a student. I have a salon, not one, not two, many. And by the time I was leaving campus, I was driving. And mind you, I had come from a family background that could not even afford to sponsor me for my meals in campus. And there I was, owning a colored television and a carpet in a room in campus. And there I was, by the time I was a 3rd year, I was driving. And my journey to the radio started there because of believing in myself. Do you believe in yourself? Do you say no to some things that you think you can't do, but you can do? By the way, you can do them, but you always say, I can't. I can't. Why are you saying you can't? You will, you can. Learn to open up your tentacles. And finally, wear a positive attitude mind. Positive attitude mind. Positive energy person. That is one of our undoing. Even in our marriages, negative energy is really destructive. And I like it when Paps was saying how she has transformed from somebody who really had negative energy, suicidal thoughts, to the wonderful woman I see, to the brave woman I see, to the beautiful face I see. Perhaps imagine, I can't imagine that face one day. And therefore, as you do your tentacles, if your tentacles is your style, as you do your shark style, if the shark is what is gonna work for you, brace yourself, wear positivity. Don't say, hi, Paps, how is the business? Imagine I'm struggling. The minute you say you are struggling, my dear, struggle is going to prove itself to you. Hi, darling, how are you doing? How's the business? Nikubaya tumesota, utasota. Put yourself, sometimes, me, I have many stories. There's another story I should have given you, but we don't have time. One time I walked into somebody's office and I was looking for a contract to do some consultancy in media. And I had been told by somebody that these guys require somebody to help them in the consultancy. So when I went in, I said, hey, I was told, I have this company and I can do this. He looked at me like, oh, dear, I'm sorry you're late. I've already given out this contract. But can you do this other one? And he threw a paper to me. Just threw a paper to me and told me, can you do this one? I looked at it. Let me tell you, the consultancy was all about medical issues, vaccinations, vitu senye sijawahi soma. I have never done medicine or anything close to medical. I looked at it. Nikaona ni maneno ya medical, nikaangalia. You know what I told this guy? By the way, when is this thing closing? When should we submit everything? I can no, don't worry, it's open. You can even take 3 months if you're not ready. I told myself, 3 months, Paps, 3 months, I will have gone to AMREF training center. I will have done my 2 weeks short courses on this public health education and promotion course, and I will do this consultancy for these guys. Do you know that is what I did? I told him, oh, I can do it. And I closed the paper and I said, oh, thank you very much. You will hear from me in the next 1.5 months. And I walked out. I didn't know anything in medical consultancy. I called AMREF. I asked about the course. I was told it's there. I registered. I did 2 courses at the same time. I finished, got my certificate, filled up the 10 documents, submitted, and I was #1 consultant. And I got the job for 14 million shillings back in the year 2015. Hello, clap for me. I'm telling you to clap.
For sure.
Congratulations.
You just have one.
Now, imagine if I went in there and I said, no, I just don't do medical things. I only do media related things. And anyway, when you get that opportunity, you will call me. Who will call you? No one. I found myself doing more medical consultancies than doing media consultancies. And I'm sure some of my employees or my colleagues in business are online and they can confirm what I'm saying. Now, I am that age. So we still have time to go back to school and polish up ourselves. I believe we are still energetic enough for people to come and offer us waking up figures, ideas. Open up yourself, but please wear a positivity mind. Every time you're on phone, be positive. When you go for meetings, be positive. Niye jeteketie hakuna kitu siwezi fanya mimi. Jugaga the only biashara siwezi fanya ni sitauza mwili mimi na sitaua. Lakini biashara ya kukatakata sukuma naweza katakata. And let me tell you, nikianza kukatakata hiyo biashara, hiyo sukuma, it will be a brand to go. Everybody will know that Dhoni is selling sukuma. Sometimes it's good to be positive. Sometimes I go to the market and I want to buy this sukuma. So unapata mama ameka. Where this house rotten. Are you the type? I hope not. Wear a charming face even when things are very thick. Because that charming face sends a message. Send the spirit of conviction to the other people, to convince them on your behalf. I have many stories to share, but today I will not share much because first of all, I'm exhausted. And number two, I need to go and cook because I am the jute yangu, yani leo ni mimi napika. Allow me to stop there. And if there is any question, I would want to probably answer a few. And I am grateful that you have had an opportunity to listen to me. If I am offending, I'm sorry if I offend you in any way, but I love sharing my story because what you see today is a product of very many compounds brought together, elements brought together to make this compound called Wamuchomba. The Wamuchomba, probably you know her because of her politics. Maybe there are people here who know me because of my businesses. Others know me because of my other quarters, probably in church. But all that brought together, the person that you see has been made a product of other people. Let the we philosophy be your guide. When you say we, remember you wear compassion. Like I wore compassion to that girl who was hawking. I saw her as a lower cadre from me, but I gave her the space to come in and give her the warmth to feel that she can also do it. Now, when you wear the philosophy, you work with the philosophy of we, you also wear the armor of love because you can't accommodate somebody whom you're not showing love. And you also wear an armor of teamwork because you can't create a team with people you don't agree with, people you don't harmonize your activities with, and you're not in unison. So the we philosophy, I've told you, works everywhere. Talk to many guys who have invented, like the Macintosh guy. If you read the story of the Macintosh guy, the guy who invented the Macintosh, he'll give you a story about the I and the we, and how his I made him exit his own company that he had started. And then when he realized that there's a power in we, he actually was called to buy back his own company by the people who had bought from him forcefully, not willingly, but forcefully. So I have loved to, even in politics, I can't do anything without we. How? I need campaigners, I need advisors, I need prayer partners, I need financiers. I need, like right now, even if I'm from Mashinani today, I was working on a water project. And I can tell you, the people who really make the project happen is not me, it is them. So when I'm saying we have brought you water. And people clap. Hey, Wamuchomba. It's not Wamuchomba, it is the team, the we. And the we also make them grow because their CVs are also growing. They can go and say, I worked under Honorable Wamuchomba's office and I was able to implement this project called so and so, and their pictures there. So their CVs are also growing. So I pray that whatever I'm sharing today is going to get space in your lives so that you can be able to use the philosophy to mold your life, to change your marriages, to change your businesses, and to polish you into whatever ventures that you have focused on. And may God bless you very much. Thank you.
Amen, amen. Thank you, Mheshimiwa. There are some questions for you. Yes, I'm just going to read like 3 of them and then you answer them together.
Hamutaki niende nikapike.
Tutaenda kupika pamoja usiku wa manane, usiku sako. Yeah, so what happens what happens to a perfectionist who believes that they can only do their businesses well and it's hard to delegate? Yeah, so this perfectionist who believes they can only do it well, other people will fail them. And then number 2, can one be both a shark and an octopus at the same time? And then there was one more. Yes, number 1 is the perfectionist. Number 2 is multitasking between the shark and the octopus. And then does the 3 months waiting period for startup apply for all kinds of different for all kinds of business, or different businesses have different waiting periods? Yeah, so those are the 3 questions that have come in. I think once you answer that, Dina should be rolling.
No problem. I still have time. I thank God. Now,
all right.
The first question is, can you be both the octopus and the shark?
Yes, and then
no, you can't.
No. Number
you
one.
Can't.
Number one is if you're a perfectionist and you don't want to delegate your business, like she's feeling she's a perfectionist, she struggles with delegation because she feels nobody can do it as well as her. And then that is number 2. Yes.
I think perfectionists, I mean, even me, I am one. I don't call myself a perfectionist. I call myself a micromanager. You know, there's a difference between perfectionists and micromanagers. There are people who really want everything done perfect by their touch. Their touch must be there. But there are people who don't care who does it, but let it be done the way they want it done. So you have to, personally, I'm the type that want things done the way I want. Whether you do it at midnight or you do it in the morning, whether you report to the office or you do it in your house, it's none of my business. But I want at the end of the day, whatever I want you to do, whatever I want done, it is done. So I don't know whether you're the type that really want to micromanage, you know, and the minute you micromanage projects, you own them and you block others. Because of course now it means that somebody cannot type for you a letter because they always misspell. So you have to type yourself and you spend 1 hour, 2 hours typing for yourself a letter. Me, I don't type. I don't even have that patience anyway. I scribble a letter and I throw it on WhatsApp. You type, you finish. And then I'll tell you, I think here there's a spelling mistake. Can you correct this and this and this? And then within 1 hour, I'm done. I see members of parliament struggling with the letters and going to the cyber business center to type a letter. Because they don't believe anybody else can write good English for them. so allow me to put some fun in this. So I don't know what type of a perfectionist you are. Now for me, I'll even call you and tell you, I record myself on WhatsApp and say, following our previous discussion, my office would be keen to follow up on the progress of the project we discussed, and therefore would request your response soonest so that we can progress with the project. Yours, Honorable Wamuchomba. Hiyo barua sasa nimetumia mtu kwa WhatsApp, a type. But at the end of the day, I want that letter written properly with my letterhead and sign, and things move. So I don't know what kind of a perfectionist you are saying you are. Now, you can be a perfectionist and you want to micromanage things. But do you know there's a better hand than you that can do better than you? Many hands that can actually do better than you. The idea is yours, but they can do better than you. When I started my media college, I imported stuff from Dubai. You know, I traveled to Dubai. I bought the best graphic machines. I bought the best camera. I bought the best software. Studio is the best. Then like a little small boy, I still remember today, walks in my company and finds my video editor manager stuck with a software for a month. He was not able to program a software from Dubai for a month. This boy cycles himself to town with a kale kabag wanabebanga kanaitwa nini, karansak. Ako kabag. Kanakuja kanasema, hi, my name is David. And then we look like this one. Then my manager says, no, I told nobody should touch. It's only me who has rights. It's only me who has rights. And we are stuck 1 month. We can't be able to program. So I'm thinking now, do I take a flight back to Dubai or do I pay for somebody from Dubai to come and sort me out? And this guy, I said, okay, allow him to just try using your rights. He will manage. The boy just clicks 3 things. Opened. It's opened. So if you are me, what would you have done with that video manager? Where were you? Now, can you be an octopus and a shark at the same time? No, you can't. Because, you know, the tentacles, I said it's a we. It's a I. It calls for my turn. Everything comes in pop with an effort of I. So I am not so sure whether the two can work, but it depends with what the business you're doing. So I'm not so sure whether that can work as a hybrid. But anyway, it's a flexible world you can try. What was the last question, Paps?
The last question was the 3 months period for a business takeoff. I'm not sure I can be able to track it now. We've really had many chats.
Yes.
Yeah, but she was asking whether it's a requirement for you to wait for 3 business before your business take off. There's 3 months waiting period for startups apply to all kinds of businesses, or different businesses have different
No, it
waiting
depends.
period. Yeah.
Different businesses have their different waiting period based on your business strategy. Did you have a business strategy? Do you have a business plan? When were you supposed to break even? Or you just started biashara like Paps? The name Paps is papa. Yeah. Did you have a business plan? Did you do your what I call feasibility study to know at what level of investment will you start to break even? And at what level will you start now creating targets? Month 1, target this, increment by what percentage, and by what month are you going to break even, so that now you can move to the margin levels of now guaranteed minimum return. So I think let's move from the level of doing business kienyeji, the Mama Boga style, the Githeri Mama Pima style. We get into the theoretical planning, business planning strategies. Personally, I don't do business without papers. Papers in terms of feasibility study, and it has to be scientific. If, for example, I'm getting into a consultancy world and I am interested in that line, do I have the sufficient documentation? Am I qualified? Am I certified? And then do I have sufficient contacts that can last me a year every month with a new contract? So that no 1 month I'll be dry doing nothing. I mean, just don't do a business because Gathoni is doing it, because you don't know, like I told you, how many months I have spent to scheme to be able to get into that line, for example. I've seen people say, and the other day, a friend of our family came and said, you know, Gathoni, you've been telling me to get into business. She's been in banking all her life. And by then she's almost retiring. So she came and told me, you know, Gathoni, you've been telling me to get into business. And, you know, I've been fearing, the fear factor we spoke yesterday. And now I'm thinking, I think this business of selling cakes, I think it's a very good business. I asked, okay, why? Because selling cakes, I'm seeing people buying small cars and making cakes and packing them at the shopping malls. You know, in my mind, I just laughed and I said, I wish, because she's elder than me, I couldn't tell her what I was thinking, but I was thinking I should tell her, come on, do feasibility studies. Which cakes? Are they forest? Are they vanilla? Are they eggs, or are they the quails ones? No. So do visibility studies, and do your maths, and be theoretical. Don't use your eyes to ascertain business, because your eyes were created to see physical things, not money matters. Money matters are interpreted by a pen and a calculator and a bank account. When you're taking a loan to start a business, don't just take a loan. I am happy that I found Rose explaining about loaning. Sometimes you can take a loan and you'll be a slave of that bank for the rest of your life. You started a business, yes. It has your name on it, yes. It has a bank account on your name, yes. But the money is not yours. The money belongs to the bank. Please consult, do your feasibility studies, and engage a consultant if you have to, so that you can get the actual picture of the business. Involve a risk advisor into your business planning, because sometimes we just do businesses, but you don't look at the risks, and the risks may be higher than the gains. You can have bodily risks, you can have business risks, you can have environmental risks that can put you back to zero mark. So let's get theoretical when it comes to starting off businesses. Tumesoma ya kutosha. Hata kama uko na certificate ya form 4, hiyo imetosha. You'll be able to understand the figures, the calculator, and the bank account. If you're investing in what I call capital businesses, capital, let me not use the word capital, let me use structure business. People who are buying plots to sell them later, think twice. People who are doing rentals, nyumba za kukondisha, that is so that you can be collecting rent as a business. Think 5 times, 5. I am one of them, and I will tell you, think 5 times, because there are many other things that make you look rich, but in actual sense, you are a social investor. You know what is a social investor? Kama mtu ako na ng'ombe pili anakamua anasema mimi ni mkulima wa ng'ombe. Na ng'ombe eleaga makiria makirira kuhe. You are a socio-economic, you are a social investor. Nimetaka social esteem, because you just want to be heard that you have a cow. But those cows actually are more burden than your child. You know, nita kugia mwana na soke uye ng'ombe igiri sio nishana sigana. Let's tell people, if you don't have 50 cows, 50, don't call yourself a farmer. 50, because even 30 will not break even if you don't have the land. But that is mathematics for another day. Have I answered the questions? Who is this? Caroline Kialo is saying, Mwesh, you can't have enough of you. But I'm telling you about, you know, ati unaacha kazi ya bank unaenda kuweka ng'ombe 5. Bure kabisa. 5. You'll be their slave. By the way, utakuwa una recycle manure. Unatoa majani kwa shamba, inakula, inasiagiwa, inakuwa manure, unabeba, unarudisha kwa shamba. So don't invest in 5 cows. Even 10, don't. It will not give you anything. Ask me, I'll tell you. I have done 1, 2, 3, 4. Ikifika 10 nauza, nafuga, biashara naenda. Narudi tena nasema wacha nianze sasa na 12. Naanza na 12, naenda 12, 13, 14. By the time I get to 20, nafuga tena. Nauza pickup. By the time I come back, because they are social projects, they don't give you anything. Hata kuku, usiweke 1,000 chicken na ufikirie uko kwa biashara. You are doing nothing. You are just boasting that you have many livestock, poultry in your house. Lakini hiyo ni hasara tupu. Kama huna kuku ya mayai ambayo imezidi 5,000, 5, uko kwa biashara, fuga virago, rudi kazini kaombe kazi ya secretary. I'm telling you. But I'm not discouraging you. You know, there are people who say, oh, let me start with 5 cows. Nitaenda nikiongezea. Kwani hii tubo haitakuwa inakula wakati utakuwa unaongezea? Watoto hatakuwa wanasoma wakati unaongezea? Hapana. So do your feasibility studies properly. Wacha ucholewe hiyo kiugo vizuri, ucholewe ng'ombe vizuri, ikamuliwe imagination vizuri, litagapi, uuze kwa daily, ulipe drive, ulipe pickup, uweke mafuta, ufanye kila kitu. Realistically, kama kuna pesa inabaki, uangalie kama ni ile GMR tuliongea juu yake, guaranteed minimum return. Alafu tuende kazi. Hata saluni usinunue chemicals, upange pale vile mnapanganga pale, unapanga unasema na I am an investor. I have a saluni called Gathoni Pala. Gathoni Pala, na wewe ndio unaiweka, wewe ndio unalipa kila kitu. You are also a pest in the same business. Unaikula wewe, alafu inakukula jioni. Because when you're going home and you want to buy meat, ile pesa ulitengeneza kwa salon, unajua inafaa iwe kwa biashara. Hufai kwenda na hiyo pesa nyumbani. Pesa ya salon unafaa iwekwe kwa bank. By the time you lock the salon, tayari pesa yote ya salon iko kwa bank. Lakini unabakisha kidogo kwa kibeti Paps ndio ununue nyama. It means that business is not keeping you, it is not sustaining you. Anyway, I wish I had time tungeongea sana. Naona watu wa Baringo, Asari mko aje? Iko wapi Asari tufanye biashara? Salimiana Baringo sana. Your women rep is my very good friend called Gladys. Karen, huyo ni wa Baringo nimemuona. Kuna mtu mwingine ameniuliza, so how do you balance between business and politics and family? And you're also laughing. So it all leave me, I wear a number of positivity. It's all about positivity. Ukini stress na kwambia wewe utadistress, wacha kwanza niende nitafute pesa, nikiwa na pesa nitakupigia kama kanyama kakukomeza na kwambia leo uchera sasa niambie wakati meza nyama ikukomeza. Because you can't just tell yourself. I mean, life is so easy when you wear a positivity armor. And what makes me actually smile every day is the positive energy and believing in myself and putting God first in my endeavors. When I have sorry, tomorrow we are still on from 6 p.m. Will you come? Yes, I will. I will be here, God willing.
Yes,
Paps,
she is. Yes, you are. They've been a pest in their business. Wamekulana sana mpaka akadrop. Wajira Mbutia. Thank you guys for being so honest. Aren't we having fun? Yeah, I wish
are you a pest? By the way, if you are a pest, just call yourself a pest. You are a pest in your own business. Unakuliwa na wale wengine na unakula wewe mwenyewe na wewe unakuliwa. You know, that is the system. Inaendanga tu hivi. Yeah. And it's so frustrating.
Yeah, ndio pesa mwingine amekula biashara. Wow. What an amazing evening we are having. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. This is so much fun. We are looking forward to tomorrow. We are coming back. Yeah, and we are so privileged to have you. Thank you for sharing your life and just the wisdom that is flowing so naturally. Anyway,
so tomorrow we can touch.
When do your PowerPoint?
Kesho tunaweza guza maneno ya biashara. How do you brand your name?
Oh yeah. Nasema when do your PowerPoint?
How yes, you need also to think about how we brand our business. Mudokijo Enterprises, for example, how do you name your business? Mudokijo, and you're selling paint. With all due respect to my friend.
Wow, thank you,
Kajawaju Consultancy. Kajawaju Consultancy, and you want and you want a Patel Muhindi to come and consult you, and you are calling yourself Kajawaju Consultancy.
This is so funny. Yeah, so tomorrow we are going to look into business branding with Mheshimiwa. Yeah, and we'll just know the names to run away from and probably the brands to choose. Yeah, and we want to know your businesses as well. Yeah, I'm sure tomorrow we are in for another treat. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful, wonderful evening. Like, time is really running and you're not even feeling it. We'll just stay here up to 9 or 10. Yeah, it's 2015. We really, really had fun. Yeah, and we're really.
So I'll give assignments again for.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll give an assignment for tonight. Yesterday we gave ourselves assignments for GMR. People didn't tell me whether they succeeded, but I knew I had lost you somewhere along the way, so I forgive you for that. But I would want you to list down your 10 tentacles. 10 tentacles. Identify your 10 tentacles into your enterprise if you're in business. And then we will now identify this. Of course, you know, the tentacles don't have the same strength. Hata mikono, kuna kale kadogo kafupi hakawezi beba kilo. Hii inaweza beba maybe nusu kilo. Hii inaweza beba kilo. Hii inaweza beba 3/4. Hii ni kushikilia tu. So tentacles also have their own capacities. So how do you grade them and how do you give them attention? So we'll touch something like that, but please identify your 10 tentacles so that we can see whether they are pull her down or they are pull her up. Good night, ladies, and I would love to share more with you. Asanteni sana.
Wow. Now, what I want us to do to appreciate Mheshimiwa, I want you to go to the reactions and just share your reaction. You know, let's just fill the screens with reaction. Hapa chini, there's a place for reaction. Just go and share yours. Of course, mine is laughing myself to tears. Yeah, just share your reaction, whether you love it or give her some fireworks, thumbs up, clap. Let's just appreciate her with the virtual energies. Yeah, thank you so much for coming through. Yeah, there you are.
Thank you,
sharing your
Susan.
reactions. Yeah, we
Thank
really,
you,
really
Anne.
appreciate you.
I can see you. Chico, I can see you. Thank you. Florence, Kirubi,
Florence.
Asante.
Yeah, keep on chatting as well. Just keep on throwing it on the chat, your appreciation, your thank yous. Yeah, we're really honored to have you. You are tired and you've refreshed us. What
Joanne,
if it was asubuhi? You know, we are so grateful. Priscilla.
Monica Kamau, asante. Priscilla Jae, asante. Judy Kibet, asante sana. God bless you. Catherine Masharia, nashukuru sana. Asanteni, ladies. Elizabeth Alich, asante. I hope you're blessed. Wairimo Jaroge, Messengeri, asante sana. Obiamachuku, asante sana. Cynthia Mutinda, nashukuru. Patricia Mwanzia, nashukuru sana. Thank you, ladies. God bless you. Kirubi, nimekuona tena. Asante sana. Thank you. Rose Omango, asante. Asante sana. Washuka, amazing. Thank you. God bless you and good night.
Yeah, we are looking forward to see you tomorrow again. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, we really, really appreciate. Priceless. All right, ladies. So we are signing off. As usual, I'll give you a song at the end. Sorry, and as usual, come in tomorrow early. So glad today we had an amazing time, no intrusions. You just keep on sharing your feedback. That is the first thing. What have you enjoyed the most about the session today? What is your take home? Yeah, so many things to take home. And of course, tomorrow, invite a friend. Yeah, let's mobilize as many women as we can. Sorry, let's just feel the my throat is in that mode, you know. Invite other ladies, other friends, just share the poster with them and the link is the same and then they can plug in and we keep on rolling together. And of course, WIB updates, keep on SMSing all your questions, issues about membership or any other details there. Make sure you leave us your email numbers, your email addresses as well. Yeah, I'd say that we share our email addresses so that we can just compile them and throw out all these presentations once we are done tomorrow. We've been recording them, so we are very happy to share with you the links, and then you can just catch up on any session that you missed. Yeah, invite your ladies tomorrow, let them come through and enjoy this with us. Tomorrow we have another business management talk by Rose. I really love the wisdom of Rose. Like, she's so easy, but what she teaches is what she lives. And she's journeyed with so many women. Like I said, she offers loans for small and medium enterprises in Baringo, yeah, in Elda Maravin, and she's going to keep on just inspiring us tomorrow. And tomorrow, life coaching moment, we shall have an opportunity to discuss CEO self-care, because you are the CEO of your life, and we'll just be looking at elements that you need to take care of in your life, whether your business is a startup, whether you are a hawker, or whether you have this amazing enterprise that is turning in millions. Everybody needs to know that self-care is key, you know. And of course, Mheshimiwa has also touched on this, like in terms of just paying yourself, rewarding yourself, and of course, celebrating yourself as well. So many wins we have. And of course, in case you need my book, the people who are asking about the Reconfidence book, you go to my website, reconfidencewithpaps.com, and you can download the book there. There's one tab where you can just go to click Reconfidence book, and then you can download it and pay for it online. Thank you so much for coming through. Such a great opportunity to hang out together. Looking forward to see you tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow we'll update you on what's next. After tomorrow, we shall update you on next month and other things that are coming up so that you can plug in. God bless you. I'm going to play the song as usual, and then you can leave at your own pleasure. And of course, today we have Hannah. Hannah will pray for us. Hannah, are you still there? Yeah, Hannah is also another friend that I really love. Hannah, you are there? All right. We'll see who will pray for us, and we will probably have that going in a few. Let me just play the song, and then well, I think we should pray first so that the ones who want to leave can leave and the rest of us can hang around. What's the name of the song you played? The song I played yesterday, for those who are asking, it's called You Say, You Say, You Say. I'm going to throw in the link probably when this other one is playing so that you can just catch the vibes as well. Sawa. So where was it? I want to play the promise because we need to understand that all these things are promises of God in our lives, the businesses, the families, all those things, even the things that, Mweshimiwa is speaking here and we are feeling like, that is a dream for me. Like, will I ever come to a place of handling millions? And of course, we need to keep on trusting the promises of God that they will come to pass. So I want to bless us with this song. And then I'm going to ask Jen Kemani to pray for us at the end. Let's just sing the song together and then we pray and then we go. Yeah, so the ones who need to go, please feel free. And then the rest of us will just stay here and hang around and have fun. So here we are.
Paps,
yes.
May I pray first because I have another meeting in less than 10 minutes.
All right, go ahead, Jen, that's okay.
Okay, let's pray, ladies. Father, we give you thanks and we give you glory and honor. We thank you for this time that we have had together. Thank you for Mheshimiwa Wamuchomba. Lord, we just thank you for the wealth of wisdom that she has brought into our lives today, my God. We thank you, Lord, that we shall apply it in our lives, that we shall find a place, Lord, where we can use it in our lives, Lord. Father, we are all ladies looking to do business, my God. Some of us started way before the others, my God. And for those of us coming behind us, my God, may we be a help to them. Just like the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work, my God. I pray that we may be able to hold each other up, my God, giving each other shoulders to lean on, my God, helping one another up when things have gone down, my God. In the mighty name of Jesus, Lord, thank you. We may not know each other personally, Lord, but you have not made a mistake by bringing us together in this forum, my Father, in the mighty name of Jesus. I've seen some gentlemen as well, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for bringing them in this group, my Father. Lord, may they also glean from these amazing talks that we are having. Thank you, Lord, that you're opening up our minds. And most of all, Lord, may our attitudes change, our attitudes towards each other, our attitudes towards business, our attitude towards working as teams, my God. We give you thanks, my Father. Lord, even as we go and lay our heads down to sleep tonight, my God, may we have a good night's rest. May we have may we wake up again tomorrow to continue glorifying and exalting your name. Thank you for Paps, who's facilitated these meetings, my God. Thank you for Rose, who shared an amazing thing about deaths, my God. And thank you for Wamuchomba, who's really enriched our lives tonight. We thank you and we give you praise because we pray and believe in you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Rose. That was thank you, Jen. Yeah, we really appreciate you. So I'm going to play the song, and then the ones who want to stay can stay. Let's just sing this funky song and go and sleep in a positive mode. Like, that was such an evening of positive energy. And please share your take homes as you hang around. Just let us know what is your take home, what have you learned, anything. Just give us a feedback. We really appreciate that as well.
Faithful through the ages, God of Abraham, you're the God of covenants and faithful promises. Time and time again, you have proven you'll do just what you said. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast and let my heart learn setting same, I will praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me. Oh, seasons change, you remain the same. God from age to age, though the earth may pass away, your word remains the same. Yeah, your history can prove there's nothing you can't do. You're faithful and true. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast and let my heart learn when you speak a word, it will come to pass. Great is your faithfulness
Thank you guys for staying on. Yeah, have a very good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, log in tomorrow, 6. We shall be here. Susan, you wanted to ask something? Susan, I can see your hand is up. Did you want to ask anything? All right, guys. Good night. Good night. Good night. See you tomorrow. Yeah, let's keep connected. We're so privileged to serve you. Nyinyi ndio waheshimiwa pia. Yeah, we thank God for you. Have a very, very good night. See you tomorrow. Rose is ready for you. I'm ready for you. Mheshimiwa will be getting ready for you. Good night. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Just lift up your worship to him.